Welcome to another video, Walk on the Wild Side. In fact, I am on the edge of Blackpool here. I've got a Little Martin windmill behind me. We'll be taking a closer look at that in a minute. It's New Year's Eve and I was supposed to be filming the fireworks for you on the beach today, but unfortunately they were cancelled due to high winds. So I thought, what am I going to do? Well, I thought I'm going to have to do something a little bit different. So what I thought I'd do is I filmed from one extreme of Blackpool to the other. I'm going to take you all the way from here and the far east of Blackpool and the Mereside estate. We're looking down towards some new houses are building there in the Mereside, one of two of Blackpool's largest council estates, Mereside. And I'm going to take you all the way to the North Pier and I'll show you everything in between. So let's take a closer look firstly at Little Martin windmill. It was built in 1838 and it's been preserved really well. They paint it every so often, as you can see, and it's still got its sails on, which is unlike another windmill down the road at Lytham, which had all its sails blown off in the storms a couple of months ago. But here's Little Martin windmill, which welcomes you to Blackpool if you come off the M55 just before the end, and this takes you onto Preston New Road, where I am now. So this is Preston New Road. Like I say, the motorway is not far away from where I am now. We're just looking over the road here towards the harbour, which is the mental health facility. This used to be at Victoria Hospital, the Parkwood, but it's now been moved here, state-of-the-art mental health facility. Anyway, I'm going to continue down here, Preston New Road, and I'll show you as much stuff as I can along the way to the North Pier. Yeah, so there's the back of Little Martin windmill, and before I head off down Preston New Road, I just want to show you a little bit of the Mereside estate here. This is Langdale Road. A lot of the roads are named after places in the Lake District. The second largest of the two main estates here in Blackpool. Grandma and Grandad used to live on here for a while. Okay, so I'm now outside the Toby Carvery here on Preston New Road, and this might be familiar to a lot of people. I'm just at a junction here. Over the road there is Whitegate Road, which leads to the right, and that takes you to Martin Mere, the caravan site, and it also takes you to the outlying villages of Staining, Wheaton and Singleton. Sorry about the traffic noise. Yeah, so that's Whitegate Road there, which takes you out of Blackpool to those villages there. And this block of flats on the corner, there used to be a scrapyard there in the olden days, a smithy. I think it was called the Smithy Scrapyard, and that's where those flats are built there. And just next to that on this side over here, sorry, this road is really busy, I'm doing my best to avoid the traffic, but does anybody remember the premium bonds? The futuristic premium bonds building stood out for miles. It was stood right here. Okay, I'm just outside this mobility shop here, which used to be a convenience store for quite a long time, and just over the road, this is where the premium bonds headquarters were. Ernie, this is where the random number generator was, right here. Does anybody remember the building? I'll put a link to the demolition. Yeah, I think it was one of those buildings that was style over practicality, but it really did stand out a mile when you were coming into Blackpool. Black and white, looked like something off Thunderbirds. It was amazing. Anyway, I'll put a link in the description so you can have a look at it when it got demolished. So as you can see now, it's been turned into a housing estate built by Rowland Homes. Just looking towards Paddock Drive here, which is quite an old road here off Preston New Road. That's where I've come from, looking towards the east, and this is where I'm going to go to. Next stop, Fat Man's Corner. Okay, we are now just coming up to Fat Man's Corner. Just across the road there is Martin's Cemetery. Might have to do a video on that. Anyway, this is Fat Man's Corner. I have no idea why it's called Fat Man's Corner, but they do have quite a lot of fast food outlets here, so go figure. This is McDonald's. Sure, a lot of you are probably familiar with this part of Blackpool if you come in this way. Quite a lot of people do come in this way. There's also quite a lot of people that go the other way into the car park, so they probably missed this bit. But anyway, this is Fat Man's Corner. And there used to be television rental company headquarters just over the road there. It was called Telefusion. You see over the road there where the Pizza Hut used to be. In fact, that Pizza Hut had just shut down. Yeah, Telefusion head offices. It was like a sort of semicircular building that went all the way around that corner there. Yeah, TV rental company. Those were the days, weren't they? Okay, so I am now stood where the Telefusion headquarters were, and after Telefusion it became the Blackpool Evening Gazette head office right here, until it was demolished to make way for all these here, the KFC there, and just over here we had a Pizza Hut, but that's recently closed down, and I'm just wondering if anyone takes this over, are they going to reshape the roof? Because that is a Pizza Hut roof, I wonder. Okay, so I've gone past Fatman's Corner now, and I'm going to head off the main road into a little bit of residential Blackpool, Martin Stanley Park area, and we'll have a look round there, shall we? See what it's like. Not quite as noisy as living on the main road. Okay, so I've now stepped off the main road, and I'm going to show you a quieter part of Blackpool, and one you might not be too familiar with. Here we are, a bit quieter now. This is Patterdale Avenue, just off Preston New Road, and I'm going to head up here towards Preston Old Road. Quite a windy road. Let's check it out, shall we? Right, I'm now on Preston Old Road. I'll just pan round to show you. This is West Coast Motor Services here, highly recommended if you want your car seen to. And I'm going to head up this way towards Whitegate Drive. Yeah, it's actually quite hilly, Blackpool, you know, on the quiet. You don't normally think of it as being hilly, but it is. Yeah, so with this being Preston Old Road, there are some quite old houses there. This one's called Jessamine Cottage. Some quite nice terraced houses around this area, actually. It's actually quite a nice area if you're interested in relocating to Blackpool. This is the Stanley Park area where we are now. I started in the Martin area, so we're heading towards Whitegate Drive, which is a major road here in Blackpool. In fact, the trams used to go up and down Whitegate Drive, and we'll see a couple of pubs while we're at it. I've said a few times in the past that Blackpool suffers a bit from, the houses suffer a bit from subsidence, but these houses along here look very, very straight. They're very high quality houses if you ask me along here, probably because they're built on much firmer ground up here than down on the sand, you know, and on the peat bog as well, because obviously Blackpool is a lot of Blackpool is built on a peat bog. That's where it got its name from. The water that came from the peat, Blackpool, in the Foxhall area. This junction now is with South Park Drive. We're not far from the entrance to Stanley Park, which is just up here. We're going to miss Stanley Park in this video, but Stanley Park is just up there. You know, the houses are quite higgledy-piggledy down here in some places, but I think in a way it kind of gives them a bit of gives the road a bit of character. What do you think? You know, all different types of houses down here on Preston Old Road. We're just coming up to the old telephone exchange, I'll show you that, and the Boar's Head pub. This is the telephone exchange here on Preston Old Road in Blackpool, and just over here, pretty big pub this actually, the Boar's Head. And this is actually quite a popular pub with football fans and Blackpool fans. The Boar's Head. Yeah. It's quite a big pub as well. A nice building, an old pub as well, you know, but probably not as old as the next one we're going to see. Just down here, at the end of the road, which is the Saddle. Let's have a look at the Saddle, shall we? Okay, so here's the Saddle, one of Blackpool's oldest pubs, 1776. Now this is only a quick look because I haven't really got time. I've got to get going to the North Pier before it gets dark. Here's a quick look at the blue plaque, so you can freeze it here if you want to read all about the history of the Saddle. It's got quite a big beer garden as well, the Saddle. They also serve Bass on draft. So this is Whitegate Drive, and I'm going to head from here. We're going to go up this way. This is called Greenwood Avenue, on the way to the North Pier. Yeah, I want to get there before it gets dark, and I'm having to hurry up a little bit now. It's 3:15 and the sun sets at 4 o'clock, so I'm in a bit of a rush. Okay, so that's where I came from, towards Whitegate Drive, and we're now on Park Road. I'm actually on Greenwood Hill, or we used to call it Greenwood Hill anyway. You think of Blackpool as being quite flat, but it isn't really. So this is Greenwood Avenue, and if you look down here, look at this view of the pleasure beach. We do seem to be quite high up here. Can you see that, the pleasure beach over there? Anyway, I'm going to head down here towards Ansdell Road. Getting closer to the North Pier all the time, but there's a long way to go yet. So there's a look up Greenwood Hill where I've just come down from, and you can see it's actually quite steep. Anyway, I'm heading down now towards the bottom end now, towards where Ansdell Road is. And this area here is, I'm quite familiar with this area because I grew up around here. And it's cheaper than the area where I was before. Certainly a bit cheaper to buy a house around here than it is over by Preston New Road. So I thought I'd just show you a little bit around this area just to give you an idea of what it's like. Only problem is that some of these houses around here do suffer from subsidence, and in fact it's not far away where one had to be demolished. I'll show you that in a minute. It's just up here. Okay, so I'm now on Ansdell Road, which is a pretty old road as far as Blackpool goes, and I just want to show you some of these houses here. There's a plot just over the road here where a house had to be demolished because it had subsided so bad. That plot there, and nothing has ever been built on it since, and I don't know, it's all fenced off, can you see? I don't know if anything will ever be built on there. It would probably need to be piled, and it's not a very big plot either, so I don't think you'll be able to fit many flats in there. So it looks like it'll remain empty for quite a while. Yeah, but these houses here have subsided quite a bit over the years. I think a lot of the subsidence happened in the early days. We're just heading towards where all the shops are, and yeah, the first house I bought wasn't too far from here, and that had subsided pretty badly, but as long as you can get a mortgage on it, it's alright, and as long as the subsidence happened years and years ago, you know, they're not expected to sink any further. That's what they hope anyway. Here's a quick look at Raffles, the chippy. If you want a chippy that's off the beaten track here in Blackpool, go to Raffles. Got this car wash here. Bedrock Pizza. I suppose a really good Bedrock Pizza. Check them out if you're in Blackpool. Anyway, I can see the tower. Look at this. We're now heading towards Bloomfield Road. Bloomfield Road, where Blackpool Football Club is. We won't be going past there. I will be showing you some of the other back streets of Blackpool. Just going past these shops here on Ansdell Road. It's always been quite a busy part of the road, this. Betting shop as well. Chinese takeaway just up here, and we're coming up to the Bloomfield Hotel. Another pub which is very popular with Blackpool supporters, seeing as it's not. You hate it when those quad bikes are so noisy. Yeah, so this is the Bloomfield Brew House, as it's called. Yeah, just a quick look at the Bloomfield Brew House there. I've got to get going. This is a look down Bloomfield Road towards the football stadium down there. I'm just going to head across the road here now, and I'm going to take you down this little road here called Queen Victoria Road. Yeah, so we've seen quite a contrast in properties in this video from where I started to here, and some of these houses here, they're all over the place with regards to subsidence. I don't know if you can tell, but That one there in the corner is mine. That's got a right tilt on it, that one. And this block down here, I don't know if you can tell, but they're really all over the place, these. So I think if you were buying one of these houses, I'm not sure, I think you would be able to get a mortgage, to be honest. But you know, that would certainly need to be taken into consideration, as it would if you were buying any house anywhere. Anyway, so this is Queen Victoria Road, and this takes us to Central Drive. Okay, so we're coming towards Central Drive, and I just wanted to show you this area here. This is Revoe Park, and we're now in one of the cheapest areas to live in or to buy a property in Blackpool. We are getting close to Central Drive, of course, as I said, and I have done a couple of videos on Central Drive, particularly this end of Central Drive, where it is quite run down. This is Revoe School, and this was built in 1910. We are now at Central Drive, looking towards the south, and just over the road there, that used to be where the Mecca was. Huge building. The Mecca used to stand right here in this space, and it was demolished to make way for a college, I believe, originally. But then they decided they didn't get the funds for the college, so they ended up building houses, or trying to build houses, until the building went bust. So that's a bit of a waste ground at the moment. Just down there is Rigby Road, where the illuminations department used to be. Yeah, we're in that kind of area now where it's a little bit run down. Just up there is Central Drive, one of the most run down parts of Blackpool. I've done some videos on it if you want to check them out. It's a very interesting part of the road, Central Drive. But anyway, going to head down the Rigby Road towards the promenade. I can almost smell it. Sorry about the noisy motorbike. Here's a quick look at the corner of Rigby Road, and this is where the big car park for the Mecca used to be, the multi-storey car park on the corner. And just behind those boards is the waste ground where one of the phases of the Foxhole development has been held up due to the contractor going bust. But just over here is where they have built some of the new houses. Here, what do you think? Yeah, so this is a phase that they have built there. Quite a few people don't really like them. Anyway, just here, check this out. This is supposed to be a bingo, I think. This is it, a gala bingo? Not sure. I think the work's been held up on this. Yeah, this is where the old gas rigs used to be, the gas storage place here in Blackpool, and the rugby club, of course. Yeah, Blackpool Rugby Club, Borough Park, was right here. Yeah, so those houses over there are mainly built on where the old illuminations department was, here on Rigby Road. And just here, got Frankie and Benny's here, but the Odeon Cinema down here is actually, this is actually on the site of the old rugby club and the Greyhound track, Borough Park. This takes up most of the space around here, the Odeon Cinema. Here's a quick pan round. There's a lot of work going on in here at the moment. Foxhole Village over there. We've got McDonald's over there. That's Seasiders Way, the main road there that takes you into Blackpool. Anyway, there's Bannatyne's Gym, and just behind me is the Odeon. This is where the rugby club, this is where the stand was, I believe, right here. So we're stood right where the rugby club used to be here in Blackpool. And just over there is where they're building a new bingo, I believe, but yeah, work's been held up on that. Okay, so I'm now heading down Rigby Road towards the promenade. It's almost within sight. Still a bit of a walk to the North Pier though. Anyway, the next thing to show you is the Blackpool Transport head office. This is Blackpool Transport HQ here on Rigby Road, where they've been since it began. And just in here is the yard where all the buses go. And I do believe they've been trying to move from here to another site. I think Squires Gate, the industrial estate. But and they'll probably end up building houses on here. But yeah, that could be a long way off. Just look at this here, it's a wasteland, isn't it? This is another phase of the Foxhole development that, well, never got going, did it? Nice view of the tower though. and just looking the other way there is where they keep all the old trams. That's where I did my video on the heritage trams, just over there. We're almost at the promenade. Okay, this is the old Pavilion Cinema. I think it was a Pavilion, and it's now the Happy, or is it the Crazy Scots Bar, here on the corner of Rigby Road and Tyldesley Road. Yes, we're now at Tyldesley Road here. I'm going to head down here. This is an old road. In fact, it was named after one of the first families to settle in Blackpool. They built the first house here in the town, and it was called Foxhall, and that's where this area gets its name from. Foxhall, the oldest part of Blackpool. Just walking past the building site here. This is where there used to be a massive terrace of hotels, just like on the other side of the road, just like those there, massive hotels. And of course they knocked them all down to build new houses, and here we are years later, and this is what it looks like. Okay, I'm almost at the promenade here. I've walked all the way from the eastern end of Blackpool right to the western end here. We're almost at the central pier. Let's check it out. Check this out, I've made it to the promenade. All the way from one side of Blackpool to the other. How about that, eh? And you haven't had the break sweat, have you? I have. And I'm just panning around to show you around. There's quite a few people around. New Year's Eve, obviously. I wonder what it'll be like later on. Anyway, there's the Foxhall over there, which is where the oldest house in Blackpool stood. Foxhall. Right, okay, I'm going to get a move on now because I want to get to the North Pier by about 4 o'clock, and we're only about 10 minutes away from 4 o'clock. I don't think I'm going to make it, but anyway, as you can see, it is quite lively on the promenade here on New Year's Eve 2021. Yeah, just going past the central pier now. We're just talking to Beyond the Edge there, and now we can see these seed pod things here. Can you see the seed pods, how they're blowing towards the in towards where the tower is, towards the right? So you can tell that the wind is coming from the southwest. It's a fairly strong wind, it's about 25 miles an hour, and that's why they had to cancel the fireworks. But I think, I don't know really. There's a lot of people saying it's not really that windy enough to cancel them, but well, they are cancelled. So there you go. But it's not stopped all the people coming. Look at this. Maybe they're still expecting the fireworks. What do you think? Here's a quick look at the beach here at Central. It's the Central bit. Now I did want to show you the starlings, because in Blackpool we get loads and loads of starlings that collect on the piers, especially the North Pier. But it's not very clear today. It's very murky. There's like a sea mist. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that kind of misty kind of look? It's quite a nice atmosphere actually. I'll have to bring you the starlings another time. But there's a starfly. That's still going, and it will be until January the 3rd. Okay, just outside the RNLI, and look at all these people here. Tell you what, it's really busy, isn't it? Looking towards Coral Island there. Yeah, New Year's Eve 2021. And look at all these people. I hope they weren't all expecting to see the fireworks because they've been cancelled, but never mind, there's plenty to do in Blackpool. Well, I tell you what, they're really making up for lost time on the Star Flyer. Some of the bad weather they've been having, it's completely full up today. And look at all these people around here, isn't it amazing? Look at this. We're now by the comedy carpet and the glice rink. Just look at this. Wow. A bit different to where I started, eh? Wow. Just look at all these people on the comedy carpet. This is amazing. They've got music. Christmas by the sea.
A bit of bad news.
Sorry if the audio's a bit loud.
The fireworks this evening.
Yeah, he's just saying about the fireworks there.
Because of the weather.
The fireworks are cancelled.
It's because it's...
So, anyway, never mind.
And it's not safe to actually do them. So the fireworks
Like I said,
will not...
there's plenty of other stuff to do in Blackpool.
But we've got snow. We've got
And what's next stop is the North Pier. We're almost there. We're almost at the end. This Christmas bauble is really popular as well. Okay, so I'm now almost at the North Pier in this Blackpool edge-to-edge video. What do you think? I hope it's a lot more entertaining than what you get on the TV. I'll tell you what, I can't get enough of this view. Look at that sky now, that pink sky. The sun has just gone below the horizon. We couldn't see it, but there's a really nice colour in the sky. And here's the end of the line in this video, the North Pier. We made it. Blackpool, edge to edge. Yeah, so we made it from one side of Blackpool, the east side where the motorway is, where you come into Blackpool, all the way here to the promenade and the North Pier. Something a bit different, wasn't it? And I hope it's a lot more entertaining than what there is on TV on New Year's Eve. And you'll probably learn something as well, I think. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this view now. Doesn't it look absolutely awesome? Just look at that colour there. Anyway, thanks for all your support this year. Thanks for watching all the videos and the subscribers. And for all those that have done super chats and watched the live streams, the mods, everybody who make 2021 a little bit better. And I will see you again in 2022. Have a good one.